I think my mom, like again, she's just a very hard worker. I see my mom is up early every single day. She's up late cleaning the house. She's always at like all of our events and still manages to have time to work and like get everything done. Like it blows my mind sometimes. Yeah.
Welcome to episode 70 of The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And today is real life, you guys. And I'm actually so excited for this episode. We have a very special guest for you today. And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting. And I don't know, it'll be a good one. Yeah. Our guests today are my daughters, Elise and Malorie Igliane. Thanks, guys, for doing this. Are you so excited?
Yeah. A little nervous.
Yeah.
Well, let's start out because a lot of people that are listening, they know you because they've seen you guys in social media at our events because that's what we do. You guys are always a part of it. But let's start off by introducing yourself. Elise, you want to go first?
Yeah. So I'm Elise, my mom. I'm 19 years old. I am in real estate school right now. I work front desk at Perspire Sauna Studios, and yeah, I grew up playing softball. Love being around people, love being around friends, family. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
And you're the oldest.
Yes, I'm the oldest.
Yes.
And then I'm Mallory, and I'm the middle child. I also work at Perspire, but I'm a sauna studio assistant. I'm on my school student council, and I've been doing it since middle school. I love reading, I play basketball, just turned 17.
Yes, just a couple days ago. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Speaking of basketball, I got to coach you one year.
Yes, that's right.
That was fun.
I actually love that. That's like a memory. This is my co-host, by the way. I forgot to introduce you, Ryan.
It's all good. It's all good.
None other than Ryan Hatcher. Well, thanks, guys. So we're going to just kind of go through and just talk about a variety of different things. We also have some questions from our audience, so we'll save those towards the end. But starting out, we thought it would be fun if you guys, because obviously I've been selling real estate for 12 years, so most of both of your lives, maybe that's all you remember. Do you remember, Elise, when I was just a stay-at-home mom?
Well, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
And Mallory?
No.
So what has that been like for you guys? Like, what's the good and the bad of that? Let's be honest.
I think there's mostly good because it's very funny seeing like everyone, like a lot of people know you, or I'll be like recognized at the grocery store and I have like no idea who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've learned a lot. Like the downside, I don't really know if there is.
I think the downside is just you're always taking phone calls because people just love to call you. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when is that more of a problem for you?
we'll be in the car and I'm like talking, and then like she'll be like, "Oh, just give me a second," and she'll answer the phone call, and then I have to like remember where I go back. But I was like in my story.
That is one of the most challenging parts, I think, not only for kids but even us.
Yeah.
Like we're in a train of thought, we're in a conversation, and boom, we got to answer it, right?
Yeah.
That's a bummer. So what are some things you've learned? You said you've learned a lot.
Well, it's really like all that I can remember. I remember my mom starting her business with my grandpa and starting it from the very beginning, and just seeing how hard she worked. Even as a kid, like it's interesting to like look back and see like what I thought back then compared to now. But yeah, she's a very hard worker, very inspirational. I look up to her in many ways. So
Cool.
That was well said.
You don't have anything to add now?
I don't know what to add. I don't know.
Okay. It just is what it is because it's all you guys have really known, right?
Yeah, well, like Elise said, it's like you don't really pay attention when you're younger.
Yeah.
you have
now,
different
like-
perspectives.
Yeah, but like being here, like going to the office now, like you see, and like tagging along with you, going to your showing appointments, and just waiting in the car.
Waiting in the car.
Yeah.
But
That's the best part about getting older, that we don't have to sit in the car anymore.
Well, but the events had to have been pretty fun, right?
But the events.
Even though
Yeah.
you were working for a lot of it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Door hanging.
That was
Yeah,
not fun.
that's good. Let's talk about what are some of the
Those
things
were
that you
not
guys
fun.
have done as my kids.
Yes.
that
Okay, well,
helping
to be
out.
fair, it was really me.
Okay.
Mallory did not
Okay.
do any of this.
Yeah, okay.
Door hang, putting up signs, working events,
I've done every single one of those things. So
working in your database,
Yes.
doing
I don't
random
do
stuff
that.
that way.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, bags, food drive bags.
Food
Yep,
drive bags.
yep.
Elise got yelled at by somebody, huh?
Yeah.
Remember? No, I don't want that or
So,
whatever.
how did you feel about that? So, somebody yelled at you when you were taking a donation bag and dropping it off,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Well, I really just stared at him and I was like, no way, you are acting like this right now. This is embarrassing. You're a grown man. And then I said, so sorry about that. Like, have a good rest of your day.
Yes.
I had to keep it cool.
Yeah.
That's
a
good.
little bit.
But did it do a little bit of trauma to you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Now every time someone opens the door, I'm
You're
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously it didn't traumatize you too much because you're going to real estate school, right?
yes, yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why that?
Well, so I went to GCU for a year. When I graduated, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't
Graduated
even
high
sure.
school.
Yeah, graduated high school. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And my mom was always like, you should just get your license. Like, even if you don't want to use it one day, like you'll still have it. So I was like, oh, I don't know. I went to GCU for a semester and a half and it just was not for me. I'm not a big school person. So moved back home and I was like, maybe like let's give it a try. So I'm super, it's a lot, but I'm super excited.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest thing with studying for your license?
It's just, I think doing it online is different, like teaching yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like you get, what's the phrase? Like you get what you put in. Is that right? I think that's the hardest part, trying to balance, especially since I'm not like a big school person.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to like get myself to go out and do it, but
One of the things that you brought up was how you went to GCU and you realized that it wasn't for you. I think that's a story that not only a lot of people need to hear, but they can probably relate to that too. So what were some of the things that you learned about yourself at that time?
well, I think the biggest thing was it was like a reality check almost, because I've grown up just going to like small schools, private schools. So going there, it was way bigger than I was expecting. My class sizes were pretty huge, and I've always grown up with like the one-on-one teaching, and that just has always worked best for me. And in college, it's not like that at all. And then also my mom was not there to wake me up for school in the morning.
Make you breakfast.
Yeah. So that was all different. It was very different living on your own too. I met like great people. I met some of my best friends in school, but it really just wasn't for me, and I was paying a lot of money to go there for something that I wasn't really getting much out of, so.
Yeah.
I think you liked the friends aspect of it and
Yeah.
the freedom, but you forgot that, oh wait, I actually have to go to class and pass my classes.
Yeah.
And that was a hard decision for you to make because it was kind of like, well, I thought this is what I was going to do, but then you made it. How did you feel after you made that tough decision?
Honestly, once I was back home and everything, I felt like peace about it because I was literally just there for friends, honestly. Just it was a lot of fun, but then I came home and I was like, okay, so now I have no money. I have to pay off all this debt that I just racked up going to school for a little bit. So it was like back to reality, back to the normalcy. It wasn't like a vacation anymore.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I did learn a lot and learned more about me and what how I learned best and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. What would you say if someone is thinking about going to college and not sure what they want to do? What would you say?
I think either go to community college. That's one of my biggest regrets is I could have gone and played softball for free and got my gen eds out that way, but I was more focused on like the big school, the experience, whatever. But I'd say look into community college, depending on like what you want. College isn't for everyone, and if you're not sure, maybe take that gap year or try other things like trade school is really, really what's the word?
Helpful.
Like a good industry to be in.
A good option.
Yeah. Or just like look at other opportunities there, because you can be successful not going to school. There's a lot of people that do great things and they didn't have a college degree. So I think it's depending on the person. But
That's really good.
Yeah, in fact, I remember leaving corporate America and reading the stat that 95% of employers do not care where you get a degree, even if you need to have a degree, even if it's required. So why not go to community college, right? You can knock it out. It's way less expensive. And then you get to choose a little bit more of your path.
Yeah, I feel like that gives you time to kind of figure out what are your interests, what could be an interesting field to go into. I think there is a lot of pressure, especially on seniors, to like have their whole career planned out when really they don't even know. So yeah, I think I would say don't be afraid to try something different. You can always go back. It's not like college is not an option. You don't have to do it right away.
yeah, I agree.
That's awesome. What did you learn, Mallory, about watching your sister go through that?
Real estate school?
No, going to college and then coming home, realizing that wasn't for her.
I don't know. I didn't really have that much of an opinion on it. I was kind of worried about myself.
Okay, that's honest. Well, okay, so speaking of yourself, let's talk a little bit about you, Mallory.
Okay.
So both of you did student council in middle school, which I loved. Both of you were 8th grade student body presidents, which was so cool. Let's see if Chase follows in that footsteps. You both gave your graduation speeches at 8th grade, which was really cool. And then Mallory, you continued in high school. So what's that been like for you?
So after being 8th grade president, I came into freshman year and I forget what position I was. I think I was like secretary and treasurer, which I think I've been the past 3 years. So, but this year I'm on my student council's exec board, so, which is fun and exciting.
I have to brag about Mallory. One of the coolest things that happened recently was I got an email from a teacher who had seen her. We had a guest speaker at one of the high school chapels, and Mallory afterwards went up and introduced herself and said, "Thanks for being here. I'm Mallory, I'm on the student council." And another teacher saw that and thought that was awesome, and she emailed me. She's like, "You should be so proud," and I definitely was. Do you think that it's teaching you like leadership qualities, taking action? Like what are some of those things that you're learning?
I think it's important. I think like what I'm learning is how to be a leader, because I think everyone in the student council was already like a leader by like heart, but I think you're just able to grow in that leadership and like learn those skills, which is more beneficial in life.
So you think you'll carry those skills into adulthood?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a junior and you're starting to think about college. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited for college. I'm going to go look at some Alabama schools next week. Or I guess this week. Wait, no, next week. But Elise isn't too thrilled about it all.
She just wants the best for you. That's all, Mel.
What do you think you want to be or do?
I eventually want to... Elise hates this. I want to be a wedding planner and like own my own wedding planning, like event planning business when I'm older, so...
Should we take a question that we got sent
Question
to us?
from the crowd.
Question from the audience. Can you both share a memorable childhood story that really defines your bond as sisters?
I have one.
What?
I forget how old we were, but we just talked about this when we were fighting about a towel hook in our bedroom, because we used to share a bedroom. And we got so mad at each other, and I pushed her against the ladder, and she broke her foot.
Yeah. And how to go get.
I think that's a really good, really good example of our friendship, of our relationship.
Yeah. What is it like?
Can you both share a memorable childhood story that really defines your bond as sisters?
Do you have any other ideas?
I have another one.
Okay.
When I was very little, when we were at Papa's and Grammy's house, and Elise was like, hey, if you give me your toys, I'll let you come play with me. So I gave her every single one of my toys, and we were in separate rooms for I don't know what, but I gave her every single one of my toys, and she locked the door. I couldn't go play with her.
I don't remember this. This didn't happen.
It's literally ingrained in my brain.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh my gosh. Elise, what about you?
I'm trying to think.
Share with everybody what you told us the other night at dinner, because it was Malorie's birthday, and so I love to go around and share like our favorite thing about, I don't know, I just do that. And Elise shared something that was really sweet. So share what you shared. You just said like we were asking like favorite memory or something.
And I think I said just working with Malorie.
Yeah. That you love like working together.
Yeah. It's our first job working together, and it's very interesting, but it's fun.
I think you'll appreciate that more as you get older.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I don't know why she doesn't.
I do.
So Elise, let's talk about, and Malorie, since you have your first job, talking about jobs, your first job, what would you say was your first job, Elise?
Probably Tilly's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of those lessons that you guys have learned now that you're working?
I think the value of money.
Okay.
Because now, like as I'm older too, I wish I saved way more than I did.
Mm-hmm. We need to tell your brother that.
Yeah, we definitely do. What else? I think responsibility. I keep trying to say these like fancy like words, and I don't need to.
Don't, yeah. Just
You're trying to act smart or something.
What did you learn?
I learned that even if I don't want to, I have to go do work.
You're not always going to feel like it, right?
Yeah, I never want to go to work.
Okay.
I actually never.
What happens if you're late?
I've never been late. I always show up 10 minutes early.
That's good.
The value of time.
Yeah.
Time management.
That's good though, because the more you guys do things that you don't want to do, things that are hard, you exercise this muscle in your body that gives you confidence. So the next time you face something hard, you know that you can do it. So it is good to do that.
Mm-hmm. So does your mom give you all kinds of little gems like that at home? Little
Life
tidbits
skills,
of wisdom,
Yeah. Especially now with like a sales position, she's always giving me a little advice. Yeah.
So how has that been to watch her like as she's on the phone working over some deals or something? How has that impacted you?
I never used to like think about it. It was always just like
Mom's doing her thing.
it was just normal, yeah. But now I see like the way that she interacts with her clients. That's one thing that I really like pick up on. You can tell that she just genuinely cares. Another thing is just how like informed she is. Like she knows a lot about what she's talking about. She's the best what she does. So
Let's make that a clip.
There's a reel.
She paid me to say that.
Yeah, shut up.
Speaking of that, what did she have to do to get you guys to do this?
Yeah, right?
Was there any blackmail? Or?
No, she just said, what are you guys doing Thursday? And we were like, oh, nothing. She's like, okay, you're coming to the office.
Yeah.
So she backed you into it, yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by Pink's Windows East Valley, which happens to be a company that I own. So reach out today for all of your window cleaning and pressure washing needs.
Okay, should we do another question?
Yes.
What is something you admire about each other that you might not always express?
Where are these questions from?
These are
All
just
chat
random from the
GPT.
audience.
These are all chat
The
GPT.
audience sent these in.
You put them in Instagram.
No, I did not. Definitely not. Okay.
What do you
Elise,
admire
what do you
about
admire
each other?
about Malorie?
Mallory's very smart.
Yep. I think Elise, she's really funny.
She does have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I have one. So when I was a kid, my dad pretty regularly, but I would say every year or every 5 years would come home with an award, and it would kind of go on the shelf out of the way, and I would read them, and they were all about, essentially, he never missed work ever. So it was like so many consecutive days, or this year, this 5-year time frame, where he never missed a scheduled day of work. And looking back, I'm like, man, I learned how to work just by watching my dad. So you said that she works hard, right? I learned how to work just by watching my dad, and we never ever once spoke about working hard or work ethic. That was never ever discussed.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say is the most important thing you think you've learned just from watching her?
Get ready to cry, Mom.
Oh no.
Is there a overarching lesson you think you've learned?
I think that it's gonna take time, but you have to just keep doing it, and it all pay off in the end.
So being persistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my mom, again, she's just a very hard worker. I see my mom is up early every single day. She's up late cleaning the house. She's always at all of our events and still manages to have time to work and get everything done. It blows my mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that she's able to be a successful businesswoman, but also be successful in the home?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
That's interesting. That means a lot. Thank you guys. Because you don't always feel that way, right?
Yeah.
As a parent.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because as a parent, and we're very similar. You don't want to miss stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, with how we've structured our business and our life, we don't have to miss much ever. But there are prices to pay for missing certain things or not. So it's a constant struggle for us to make sure we're doing everything we need to do to be successful in all areas of our life. I once watched a lady. She was spinning basketballs, and she had 11 of them going at the same time on pins on her body. And she kind of made the analogy that you have to make sure you're going back and touching all of these to make sure they're all functioning at the same time. And it's really how life is.
Because that's a really good analogy.
So if I'm at work, I try to be at work. And then when I'm at home, I try to be at home. And I'm kind of curious to see what my kids will say about that, because it's very hard to turn off as a realtor, as our profession, because we're asked to do things, or we're needed a lot. So that's a tough balance always.
One of the ways I think I learned that lesson the hard way was Mallorie was playing softball, and I was at her game, and it was going to be her first time catching in the game, and I kept waiting for her to catch, and I had an appointment to go show a house. And it killed me because I had to leave and I hadn't watched her. She hadn't caught in the game yet. And one of the moms had sent me a video of her catching while I went to go show a house that the person never even bought. And I learned then, that was the dumbest decision I ever made. I will never trade being able to see my daughter do something that's cool and awesome and for the first time for that. And so that was one of those times where I had to learn a lesson the hard way, but I learned it and then just made that a super priority to always be there and to schedule around it.
And speaking of that, I actually learned not to really be so open about what I'm doing when I'm not working. So, for example, if I cannot have a conversation with somebody for the next hour, it's an appointment. That's what it is. Now, I could be coaching my son's basketball game, I could be at the dentist, or I could be showing another house to another client, right? But to that person, it's an appointment. I'm not available. So I've learned not to really say some of those things, because here's the reality. Most clients don't really care about the other stuff. They want their stuff taken care of. And we're all kind of like that. Like when we call a business, we want to make sure that our stuff's being taken care of because our time's valuable to us more than anybody else, right? So it's just one of those things where I've learned just, when I'm available, when I'm not, and I don't need to divulge anything else.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's with the client.
Yeah.
Especially during the working
For sure,
hours.
yeah.
But, sometimes at night, I'll even take a call at 10 o'clock at night because it's easier to handle it then versus later or the next day. But you got to balance that.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Because it does go fast with these kids.
Yes.
And that's one
you
thing.
don't get it back.
You don't get it back, and I think that's one of the things I've learned with you having graduated and now preparing for your senior year, which I can't even believe that we're at that place, like how truly fast time goes.
Yeah.
And I want to be present for all of that because that's the stuff that matters at the end of the day. Okay, next question. Ready? Can you both share a little bit about your family background and how your mom's career in real estate influenced you growing up? I feel like we kind of talked about that, but what would you say? No, I'm going to start with you.
What was the question?
Can you both share a little bit about your family background and how your mom's career in real estate influenced you growing up?
Family backgrounds?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It's a question from the audience, Mallory. The audience wants to know.
what does that mean? I'm confused on the question.
All right, Elise, I'm going to give it to you.
Family background and how like growing up with
How
you
your
as a
mom's
realtor.
career in real estate influenced you growing up.
Okay, wait, I want it back.
No, it's too late. It's too late now.
No, I can answer it now.
I think growing up, I always remember you being in real estate, working with Papa. I don't really remember like anything else. I remember going on like your showings, all your events, and I do remember it being a lot of fun. But sometimes I was like, I do want to be at home right now watching TV. But it was always fun, like getting to, like, it's nice that you have like this career that we're able to spend so much time with you. Even if it's just like in the car, But what was the last part of the question?
Yeah, and then just how it influenced you growing up. I feel like you answered it.
Yeah.
No? Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're good. I was just going to ask, when you were little and she was dragging you along, right? Did she incentivize you in some way, like say, we'll go get some ice cream, or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember.
Yeah.
Remember some sort of bribe.
And then did she ever pay you for doing the door hanging and those types of things?
Yeah, always.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Basically, just what Elise said.
What? I thought you had an answer.
Well, like, I don't know. Like, I remember like Dad always working because he worked a lot, and then I remember you working too. So, but it like taught me a lot.
Okay, thanks for that.
You're
Mallory.
bad at these questions.
That one
all of
was
this up.
actually, no offense to whoever wrote it, but I did not like that question.
Okay. What is the craziest or most unexpected thing you've ever witnessed your mom do in the real estate world?
Crazy or most unexpected? You should have let us like prepare for these
Yeah.
questions before.
Okay, sorry.
Crazy or unexpected?
What do you think, Ryan? Have we done anything crazy or unexpected?
I wouldn't say crazy, but the one thing I think of is we got locked out of the back patio, the back door, when I was showing a house, and all of us were out there, as my clients and me. So I had to jump over the wall to go back into the front, and that was a pain.
I feel like I remember you telling Mom that story.
Yeah. We've seen some weird things, but I wouldn't say anything that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't, nothing, I mean, yeah.
Nobody's dying really.
We've
And
fixed
this is
things,
different,
we've moved people, right?
I think that, it's just mostly just a lot of labor to take care of.
Yeah.
Like, people that are selling but they're out of state and they need things done, and we're there for the photography and things have to get done. So now I'm washing windows and fixing things.
Yeah.
And taking screens down.
Yeah.
Vacuuming, touch up paint,
Yes.
all kinds of crazy stuff
Yeah.
like that. So. you know.
Yeah, nothing else, right? Nothing else stands out. All right.
Nothing too crazy.
Okay, here's a good one. I think it's a good one. Mallory, I'm going to give you the chance to answer this one first. So
Okay.
you got to be quick on your toes.
Or else I'm gonna take it.
If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Like, how old are we thinking?
Whatever you want.
Advice to my younger self?
Uh-huh.
I think maybe just be like if I think back to like middle school times, like just like be more intentional with like the friendships I create
Okay.
and like the time I spend with others.
Yeah. I think you do that well, though, Mel.
And I don't really know what I would say to myself. I feel like I don't know.
I'll say this. One thing, when I took Mallory and a bunch of her friends to Pine Top for her birthday weekend, and the other mom suggested that we go around the table and share like a favorite memory. And then she was like, one word that describes Mallory. And it was, as a mom, it was like one of the best moments because I got to hear all of her friends say these nice things about her. But a lot of the things they said was thoughtful, Christ-like, caring, and that was really awesome. So
Yeah.
I think you do that well, Mel.
Thank you.
All right, Elise, what would you say?
Probably do as much as you can. If you have like opportunities to go do something or experience something, take it. But also like live in the moment, and because time does go by really fast. So
One of the funniest things, I'll always remember this. I was driving and we picked up, I think it was Mallory from school or Chase, and one of them had said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, it's Friday, it's the weekend." And Elise was like, "Wait until you're an adult, because it doesn't ever matter, you work all the time." And she just like was
yeah, there's no more weekends anymore.
She said that about spring break.
Yeah.
No more
Yeah,
spring
no
break.
more spring break, no more nothing.
So I think that's what you mean by live in the moment, appreciate it while you can. Because once you grow up, then you have responsibilities,
Yes.
right?
It's fun being a kid.
I always wanted to grow up so fast too. And now I'm like, why did I even want that? Like, I don't want to be an adult.
Yeah, I think about that because Braden's a senior. And
Yeah.
so I got to watch this dynamic
Oh,
a
yeah.
year or 2 years
Yeah.
ago. And it is crazy to go through as a parent, but sometimes I'm like, okay, you need to go out and get some work done, buddy. But at the same time, I'm like, let's let him enjoy it.
It'll come. I know, right?
It's gonna come way too fast.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna be like, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you want your kids to be hard workers, to be prepared to work hard. I think, if I'm honest, that's like a big part of our problem with today's generation is they don't value that. They think it should just be handed to them. And I think that's also the hardest balance as a parent, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to give your kids the world, but you also don't want to
Make it too
spoil
easy.
them in
Yeah.
where they don't have that work ethic. And I feel like you girls really have done a good job, like with being able to work hard. I love, Mallory, that you said, like, even when you don't feel like it, because those are just such great lessons that'll serve you well in life.
Well, several people that I know, like in the influencer world, say this, and I 100% agree. It's never been easier to be great at something. So if you want to be really, really good at it, just show up. And you've now beaten half of your competition.
Yeah.
If you're there, like let's say you're going to work, and you show up on time or 10 minutes early every day, you're now beating out most of the people that work there, just by doing that. And then if you care at all about your work product or the service you provide or any type of quality, now you're in the top 10%. So it's never been easier to be really awesome at something.
Definitely.
So that's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So go get it,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay, well, we like to end with a speed round. So you guys want to do our speed round with us?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, Mallory, you gotta be quick on this one. You've been a
I
little
just-
slow on these answers. I'm just saying.
I just need to think.
A little quick. Okay.
Are we doing one at a time?
Yeah, but you're just gonna both have to say it. So
That's not one at a time.
What's
then.
your favorite drink?
Oh, Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
I knew it. Okay, favorite food.
Mexican.
I was going to say Mexican. Or pizza.
Okay. Favorite song.
Page Fish.
Liar. She's lying right now.
No,
She's
I'm being
literally
serious.
lying.
Actually, Page Fish, our role model.
Oh.
I like Traveling Soldier by the Chicks right now.
Okay. Do you have, yeah.
What's your favorite sound?
Sound? Oh, I love brown noise.
Okay.
I sleep every night with brown noise.
I do too. I love it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I like lo-fi music. Like when I'm working, I change the music because they make us listen to this boring spa music.
No, she
Like
puts
they
it
want
on,
us
like,
to fall asleep when we're
Yeah.
working.
Oh yeah.
So I put
As
it
a-
on lo-fi music.
As a worker, that would be tough.
Yes,
As
it's
a
probably so
customer,
nice
it'd
for
be great.
everyone else. Yeah.
So lo-fi, what's lo-fi?
It's like, how do you explain it? It's
I don't
more
know.
of like,
I literally-
it's instrumental though. Like
I
there's no
hear
words.
these songs that are playing at the spa, and I'm like, what? It sounds like ritualistic,
Yeah,
like,
like cymbals and
it's
Yeah.
like, what the heck are they doing?
gongs. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay. Favorite book?
Chop wood, carry water.
It's a good
Oh,
one.
hey.
mine's not anything like that. I don't even know the name of it. Oh, I actually, right now, I'm reading How to Pray by C.S. Lewis.
Cool.
Love it.
I like that one a lot.
C.S.
Love it.
Lewis.
Okay. What about a favorite podcast?
Definitely this one.
The real deal.
The real deal. Okay. Your second favorite.
I like Girls Gone Bible.
Nice.
Yeah.
I either like Sadie Robinson's podcast or I do like listening to like comedy podcasts sometimes.
Like who?
I don't know, I haven't listened to some in a while.
Okay.
Okay. I have a question. Favorite Bible verse?
It's literally in my car, but I don't know the verse. It's Romans. I think it's like Romans 12:11.
Which is?
Romans 12:12 maybe. It's rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, steadfast in prayer or something like that.
Love it. Elise?
Mine's basic, but it's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future.
A little coffee cup verse.
Coffee cup first. Okay, last but not least, what is your favorite vacation?
Mine is either Cancun or Mexico. Or
Cancun
Like,
is
I mean,
Mexico.
no.
Elise.
cut that out.
Cancun
Cancun,
is literally in
Cancun,
Mexico.
Rocky Point, or Hawaii.
Oh, okay. When we went for your 18th Rocky Point? Okay.
Yeah.
And Hawaii, you guys have only been once. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cancun, or I did love Tennessee and like our road trip that we did. Iowa, South Carolina. So,
Yes.
and I did like Virginia too.
When we went?
Yeah.
Oh, our girls' trip.
Aw. Yeah, a few years late. That's okay.
That's awesome. All right, girls. Anything I didn't ask you that I should have or that you want to say before we end?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, girls.
We hope you liked this episode. Maybe you laughed along the way with us. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. And maybe if you have a question for the girls, drop it in the comments and then we'll ask them. Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.